From cheers of the fans to the crack of the bat, learn it all from Jimbo, Gabe, Mike, and Matt. Giving thoughts on all public teams, whether times are boom or if they are lean. Hero players that you should know, not only the good things, highs and the lows. Here it is, we're ready to go. Please enjoy the podcast. On with the show.
Good morning, good evening, and good everything in between, and welcome to the podcast. We are well past the All-Star game now and getting into our mid-season edition. I'm Junior. Screw it all up. Let's keep going. I'm your host, Jim Bobernicki, and I'm joined as always by Mr. Gabe Lorman. How you doing, Gabe?
Tired, man. I don't know if it's the wildfire smoke or it's just a hangover from the long weekend, but I have been absolutely wiped the last couple days.
It's probably the heat, the smoke, and the hangover from both the hangover and the weekend. And also Mr. Matthew Seibert. How you doing, Matt?
Hey, I'm good. The total running count of how many times I've been live on the podcast this year is now up to 5. If I can squeeze out one more, I will get off of one hand.
There you go. You did it. We did it. We're getting there. And our season is rolling along, and we have a special show this week. We decided because we are past the All-Star break now, and there's not a lot of big kind of league-wide news. We're going to do a bit of a different show today where we go through our Around the Horn and then just kind of riff and talk about how the season's been going so far. So let's kick off the Around the Horn with the top team in the league, the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks, sitting pretty just above the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters by percentage points, separated only by a couple draws. And not much in team news going on this week other than the Hawks have been bashing everyone lately, tallying up 33 runs over the week, including a 12-run pulverizing of the Marines this morning. Kensuke Kondo is back in MVP form. The pitching is back in order, and manager Hiroki Kokubo's early kind of mid-season move to make the bullpen closer by committee thing is really paying off. We are so back, baby. It's a good time to be a Hawks fan. And Kensuke Kondo drew 5 walks the other day against the Eagles, tying the league record. The MPB record, by the way, is 6 walks drawn by 2-time PL MVP and 3-time Triple Crown winner and Lotte Orion's legend, Hiromitsu Ochiai, who accomplished the feat with the Tom Selleck Dragons back in 1991. So that's pretty cool. And I also did a little bit of research about him that we will get into in the Marine segment. But that's all I've got for the Hawks. Oh, and they were 5-1 this week. They just slapped everyone around. Lost to the Marines, which was surprising, and that was Yugo Maeda's first loss of his career. But the rookie will get back on pace hopefully soon, and we're going to kick it right over to the second place team. We're kind of 1B team. I mean, they are so awfully close in the standings. It's as close as possibly can be. The Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters. Take it away, Gabe.
One last note on that Kensuke Kondo 5-walk game. The Eagles pitchers only issued one other walk to the Hawks that game, to Hotaka Yamakawa. So Kondo was just hoovering up the bases on balls for that one. For the Fighters, 4-2 in their last 6. The last 4 games have been wins in a row, completing with Koki Kitayama's 8 shutout innings earlier today. He's still on a tear. That also makes it 100 wins at Escon Field, Hokkaido since its opening 3 seasons ago. Offense is humming along. Franmil Reyes continues to lead the league in home runs and RBIs. As opposed to the complete game effort, last week involved a lot more bullpen activity. And the one time it didn't happen, with Takayuki Kato pitching into the 9th, he got walked off by allowing 4 runs against the Buffaloes. So good to see the Fighters are still in it, only behind on percentage points because of ties and whatnot. It's going to be a dogfight all the way down to the end of the season. I am both excited and anxious.
Yeah, not only down to the wire with the pennant, but I think even once we get into the postseason, it looks like it's going to be Fighters Hawks at this point, and that is going to be one heck of a series. But we kick it over to the team that broke up that aforementioned Kato complete game, the third place Oryx Buffaloes. Take it away again, Gabe.
It's been a rough week for the Buffaloes. 2-4 in their last 6 games, 29 consecutive innings without scoring a run before squeaking out a single run in today's loss to the Eagles back in the 4th. That makes it 38 consecutive innings without a hit with runners in scoring position. The only 2 runs they've acquired were by a home run and a sac fly. Given how important the Buffaloes offense was to their early season success, It can't all just be Ryoma Nishikawa and Kotaro Kurebayashi's injuries, can it? Ota's back. Sugimoto hasn't dropped anything off. Tomoyamori, maybe? I'm not sure. Something's got to fix these Buffalo boys. You can't win every game 1-0.
Yeah, it's rough. Though the pitching has been decent. I mean, they gave up a bit of runs in the week too, but I mean, at least they're
You'd think
they look.
Alan Curry giving up 2 runs would be enough to see you through to a win, but not if you only score 1.
Yeah, you'd think, right? But I mean, we saw that they were still showing promise earlier in the season. I don't think you can pull the plug on them yet. They just gotta find that groove again. And so we kick it over to our fourth place team, gaining ground ever slowly but surely on the Buffaloes in the wild card race. We'll see if they can pull through into the postseason. The Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles take it away, Matt.
Yeah, pinch hitting for Mike tonight, so I get to read about the Eagles. 3-3 over the last week. They are the picture of inconsistency, but it's not just doom and gloom in Sendai. I mean, the team's bullpen has been really effective. It can keep them in most games, and their offense, when on point, is really quite good. It's just there are a bunch of games where that's not the case, and the less we say about this starting rotation, the better. They are starting to develop a bit of a habit of picking up late game wins when they're competitive games. In some unfortunate news, former Minnesota Twin, who isn't a former Minnesota Twin these days, did you see that trade deadline? My God. And 2023 NPB All-Star Nick Turley has been placed on waivers after only pitching 2 games at the top level this season. He had appeared in 11 games in the Farm League, picking up 16 strikeouts over 10 innings with only 3 earned runs. Safe to say they were not happy with their return on their investment, and it'll be interesting to see if anybody picks him up. Somebody can correct me, because I'm guessing waivers work similarly to MLB, that every team has a chance to say, sure, we want him. And if nobody does, then he's basically an automatic free agent.
That sounds about right. Since this is after the registration deadline for NPB, I don't think if he's acquired by another team, he can play in the postseason.
Oh, that'd be a good reason not to pick him up, especially if he wasn't performing for the Eagles. This is the Eagles.
Yeah, but I mean, he was decent on the farm. That's the thing that I found really confusing when I was looking into it today.
Yeah.
Like, I get it if he wasn't playing at all, for he was getting shelled, but I mean, he seemed like he was fine. So I don't know, maybe
between Luke Voigt, Michael Franco, Sung Cha Hao,
Oscar Gonzalez,
and Spencer Howard, Eagles are good for foreign players.
Yeah, so I don't even know who might come up.
And they're only 3.5 back of the Buffaloes. That's why I'm sweating.
I don't know if you need to sweat too much, because if you look at this rotation, it's held together with coat hangers broken and bent paper clips and a wish. But still, for what it's worth, it is interesting to see that the Eagles are starting to get a little bit more on the positive side. I mean, they were really bad at the beginning of the year. I initially had them like finishing dead last in this league, and they're definitely playing better than that. But for now, it remains to be seen. It's still a long season. I mean, we're talking in August. We still have another couple full months to go. Who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah, I mean, if there's a team that I think has a bit of a historical precedent for kind of popping off late and going on a bit of a run, the Eagles could do it. You never know. But so that brings us over to a team that I don't think will be doing it. The 5th place Saitama Seibu Lions. It's been a rough couple weeks for Lions, and this week was no better. Outside of a 11-2 drubbing of the rival Marines, the Saitama side has been going through an absolutely brutal stretch. Any longtime listeners and watchers know that the usual story of the Lions is we got great pitching and poor hitting. Even the pitching is not doing very good this week. Tatsuya Imai had a very uncharacteristically poor outing, and reigning Rookie of the Year, Natsuki Takeuchi, continues to struggle since coming back from injury. His ERA is now ballooned up to 3.82 compared to 2.17 last year. I mean, he was a machine last year for his rookie year. And, he's just not pitching well right now. I don't know what's up. I don't know why exactly, but, You remember how they were kind of flirting with the playoff spot, and I was like, the vibes are there. Vibes are not there right now. Vibes are very bad around the Lions. But, there was a bunch of weird records and kind of notable stuff to talk about this week. So I'm just going to do a quick rundown of a bunch of these records. Congrats to Sosuke Genda for racking up his 59th career triple this week, becoming the new all-time leader with the Lions. And on August 1st, Tyler Nevin and J.D. Davis both hit home runs, making it the first time since 2007 that two Gaijin hit a home run in the same game since Alex Cabrera and Jeff Leifer, hit the double-barrel blast against the Buffaloes, getting back in 2007. In more record news, Manaya Nishikawa picked up 6 hits on August 2nd in the draw against the Marines, tying a Pacific League record. Nishikawa has actually been like the best thing going on with the Lions this season, in addition to
Watanabe.
It's not all doom and gloom, and it's Saitama. Again, now that the pitching's not working, we got some hitting. And also, this is very, very random, but I picked up on this looking through the news this week. Rookie Rion, is it Rion or I don't know? Rion Murata hit his first 2 home runs this week. Very nice long bombs. And I just want to note it because he's 6'4" and wears number 99. So maybe he's going to develop into the Japanese Aaron Judge. You never know. But he's a big boy. And hey, again, the Lions could always use hitting. I swear, though, now that I'm thinking about it, if the Lions enter an era in like 2 years where now none of the pitchers pitch and they just have huge hitting, that's going to be so funny. But
isn't Rayon Murata a two-way dude as well?
Is he? I haven't seen that. Maybe.
I have no idea about the rookie.
Everyone
here.
wants to be a two-way dude now, you know?
Well, it's definitely popular thanks to a certain Japanese-born stud. Anyway.
We will be getting to. But
we'll talk about it.
Nice little charity news to top off the Lions segment. The Lions are holding a breast cancer awareness campaign last week, all the way through September, and will have a mobile screening vehicle set up to encourage screenings and awareness at the Ballooner Dome. And, it's just always nice to see the MPB clubs taking part in cool little charity things like that. So that's nice. Just nice little, again, it's not all doom and gloom in Saitama. And so that brings us over to the bottom of the barrel, the doldrums, the basement of the Pacific League, the team that has occupied that space for pretty much, I think, pole position or inverted pole position the entire way through the season. The Chiba Lotte Marines. Say whatever you can figure out here, Matt.
All right. Well, I mean, I've got your notes, and I got a couple of things that I looked up briefly. For what it's worth, a fun comparison. I was having a conversation with my mom, former athlete, last night about the Rockies being in the basement of the division, right? And it's like we got to come up with a different term because this is like bad. And so she threw out dungeon, and I'm like, nah. How about moat? They're in the moat.
They're floating in the moat. Appropriate for a team called the Marines.
There you go.
So there you go. They're floating in the moat here, but they went 2-3-1, so that at least they had one more win this week than the Lions did. And they won a game against the Hawks.
Hey.
For what it's worth, though, I do want to talk about that win because that win actually had a couple of really big things worth noting, especially if this is the sign that Atsuki Taneichi is rounding back into the form we expected him to have like all year. He pitched into the 8th inning in that game, and the only runs he allowed were Kensuke Kondo. Like, that's a really, really good start for him when there have been few and far between. That's a sign to wish on. Speaking of wishing, Koki Yamaguchi was back. And in the win, he drove in 4 runs before hitting a home run in today's contest, even though the Marines, of course, ended up losing that game. So, like, there are signs of life here. If you look at their win percentage by month, and I really wish that I'd actually, like, calculated this out, but, we're on time crunch, so I didn't. I wouldn't be amazed if the win percentage overall has basically crept consistently upward. I mean, not always upward, but consistently upward each month as they just get a little bit better over time. But that is all the good things I can say about Chiba Lotte right now. So,
and I want to actually circle back to something that I mentioned earlier. So I mentioned earlier how Kensuke Kondo drew 5 walks, which is second only behind former Lotte player Hiromitsu Ochiai. So I fell into like a weird little rabbit hole learning about him because I saw all this stuff about how he's a Hall of Famer and he's one of the best players in Lotte history back when they were the Orions. So I looked him up and I looked up I love, when you look at the whole guy's career, you can see, great counting numbers, but really the peak, right? Like when he was the best. And man, this dude's peak was nuts. In his 3-year stretch, he had a 3-year stretch with Lotte where his averages where he batted 347, he hit 45 home runs per year, had 119 RBI average, and a 1.165 OPS. That's absolutely crazy. I went and looked up some comparisons. That's better than Albert Pujols was in his peak there in like the late aughts. So holy smokes, he was really good. But really also weird kind of side note. I then looked at a video of him playing. Seriously, go try to find video of him batting. He has one of the strangest batting stances I've ever seen in my life. It's so lackadaisical. It's like very loose wristed, just holding the bat like completely over the plate while he's almost leaning back. You think to yourself, how are you getting hits, let alone cranking out home runs? And then when the ball would come, he would just smack that thing. Like it was so wild to watch. And really cool to learn about one of the great Pacific League players of all time today. So there's a little James history corner for you. Look up Hiromitsu Ochiai.
I was going to say that ball must not have been very dead back then.
Yeah, about that.
Also, I wonder how it compares to Barry Bonds' like best 3 years.
Just that's different. No one compares to that. You just got to be real.
Yeah, Ochiai didn't have a special breakfast. Let's be real.
And so that does us for our Around the Horn. And before we get to the rest of today's show, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Take a listen to these messages.
Let's turn on the Sports News Network. It's about 5 in the morning. Maybe we can watch some sports before work.
All right, listen, Pally. I don't care how many MVPs he's won. He's not a good quarterback. All right, next caller.
His current expected weighted on-base average is far too low at 327. I want my star player's XWOBA to be closer to 400. I think we should trade him.
And now, time for an ad for a medical supplement that you may not be able to discuss in front of your family, and certainly do not want to be having an awkward conversation about later on. Don't worry, we're going to run this ad repeatedly until everyone in the living room is giving you weird looks.
Now, you could put up with all of that, or you could just get a subscription to Pacific League TV and get all the sports you could want live, 5 a.m., all season long.
And we're back, and so we're going to check out our familiar faces in new places. Matt, how are the boys doing stateside?
Remember when I said we were going to talk about a certain Japanese stud two-way player? Yeah, Shohei Ohtani picked up his 1,000th career MLB hit today off of a home run, and he sliced and diced the Cardinals on the mound to the tune of 8 strikeouts over 4 innings. I mean, at this point, there should be nobody bothering to compare him to the great Babe Ruth, right? Because Babe Ruth wasn't the pitcher and the hitter ever at the same time. But Ohtani is like rewriting record books. He is breaking the boundaries of what we thought was possible. He might even be the greatest human to ever walk the earth. Forget about just being the greatest baseball player.
That's true.
But enough about him. There are other Japanese players, too, unless you guys wanted to say something about the amazing Ohtani.
He's the best.
All right. Moving back to former teammate, previously a Nippon Ham fighter, Yu Darvish, getting back in the groove. He's now got a pair of wins and 12 strikeouts over 11 innings of work this week. And after how long he's been on the shelf, that is a very good sign. He is, of course, the longest tenured player from Japan that is currently in the league. So it's good to see him doing well. Yoshinobu Yamamoto has returned to early season form, which should scare the rest of the league, grabbing 6 strikeouts and no runs allowed against 5 hits in a win this week. But we've got other pitchers that are there too, and Kodai Senga for the Mets still continuing to struggle a little bit. Giving up 4 runs over 4 innings this week, but somehow still walked away with the win. I think it's called that Mets offense. They're pretty good. But while Senga has struggled, we want to end this on a positive note and continue making the double-decker about Dodger pitching that Roki Sasaki's bullpen sessions have been going great. we thought he might be done for the year, but apparently that was either drastically overstated or extra careful, and he might be returning to the Dodgers in live game action soon, which should also terrify the rest of the league. Because in the meantime, he's developing behind the scenes and rehabbing as opposed to developing in real time and all of the bumps and warts that come with that. That said, there is one more thing that Jimbo mentioned and didn't actually put on the version of the notes that I'm looking at, and that is Yusei Kikuchi. He is throwing like an ace, dare we say, and that's a good thing for the Angels. It's a pity it's just for the Angels.
And now he can message Shohei going, "Oh, now I get it."
Nah, yes, common bond. Not the same team in the Pacific League for sure, but there's that. And that's all I've got.
That I'm happy to see. I hope Roki comes back super strong, and best wishes to everyone as usual.
The double-decker sandwich with Dodger bread has now been completed. Plus a little Los Angeles detour.
They're getting there. And so now, instead of doing our usual end to the show, we're just going to kind of riff for a bit and talk about how the season's been going so far and our biggest surprises and predictions for our teams going forward. I guess we'll go from the order we went from top down. So, biggest surprise for the Hawks, the fall off of Roberto Ozuna. Whoa, that I did not see that coming. Like, he was pretty gosh darn good over the last couple of years, and he was very not good this year. So, but again, the Hawks have kind of corrected the course and are back on track to be the pennant winners. Let's hope they keep that up. And my bold prediction for the rest of the season, Kensuke Kondo goes on a massive tear and wins another Pacific League MVP.
I was going to say we have to remind ourselves that relievers are the most fungible position in all of baseball.
Yeah, absolutely.
You look at the struggles of some really amazing closers in MLB and struggling this year, and it's just like you can't predict that. Like, even a track record doesn't guarantee that you won't have a dud here or there or a down year, which is definitely what Osuna is facing. I think the biggest surprise for me, though, with the Hawks is just how different it feels when everyone they want to have healthy is there and when they didn't at the beginning of the season. It's been a tale of two seasons with that. Like, they were in the cellar of the league because they were missing so many people. And now that people are back, they've fought all the way and they're at the top of the league, neck and neck with the fighters. I mean, if you looked at the first season, and we were doom posting because, Hawks fan here, Jimbo, and like saying, man, how is it this bad? But now we see what it's like when they're this good. And imagine that over the whole season, they might have challenged their own record again. So that's kind of the surprise for me, just how different the A team is from the B team. That sounds bad, but hopefully you get what I'm going for.
It's correct. The
Hawks have insane depth that one of their bench bats has 10 home runs in Isami Nomura.
And to say nothing of Tatsuru Yanagimachi actually qualifying for a batting title as of last look, which was really cool. I don't know if he's ever done it.
Sitting third in batting and leading the league in on-base percentage at .397. I think my surprise is going to be Tomohisa Ozeki breaking out with an incredible season. He's in competition for two of the Triple Crown categories. He's not catching up to Moinello, Imai, or Ito in the strikeouts, but 9 wins, 1.53 ERA, exceptional season for the youngster. And it continues to show that the Hawks have this incredible depth. He's a 27-year-old that, honestly, I was not aware was in the starting rotation, and now he's pitching like modern-day Kodai Senga.
And for what it's worth, too, 27 is about the time when you expect players to figure it out. But also, to the comment of depth, what other team in all of NPB has the infrastructure that the Hawks have in minor leagues and development teams? Like, it's not that surprising they have all the kind of depth when they have a stacked deck in that department.
True.
And so, yeah, Gabe, how have you been feeling about how the fighters have been going so far?
Pleasantly surprised. Remember, I did call these guys to win the pennant. Franmil popping off and leading the league in home runs does not surprise me. Mizutani coming out of nowhere to put up another 10 home runs, reforming the Triple M outfield. I was absolutely on point for that. I think the surprise has been how good the pitching has been. I expected good things from Ito and Takayuki Kato. Did not expect Koki Kitayama to put up a 1.45 ERA and currently sits second in the ERA title. Kota Tatsu, as a rookie, putting together 7 wins in a row. Yes, the bullpen has had a bit of a blip between Seiji Tanaka and Taisei Yanagawa splitting the closer role, but hey, it's worked. I think for me,
Well,
the bold prediction is going to be Manami passes Reyes. Franmil's going to cool off a little bit.
well, Manami too. I mean, he's basically, I don't want to say sold out for the home run, but that's the main thing on his ledger right now. That the rest of the season for Manami has been kind of a down year, which is really weird to me. Like the biggest surprise is not necessarily that the fighters have been this good. Their offense was always good. The rotation was not even necessarily sneaky good, just good. But Manami is kind of selling out for at least to me. I have not watched enough games that I, have much leg to stand on here, but it feels like otherwise he's having a down year. Ray is getting halfway to 40 home runs by this point is hardly a surprise. I thought he would get 40, but I remember I picked Shun Mizutani to be most improved player, so I'm glad he's doing well. That prediction went badly when he missed so much time.
That's true, yeah.
Oh yeah, you know what? I thought you were maybe wrong about that because I've always thought of Chusei Manami as like power first above everything. But yeah, he's almost reached his home run totals from the last 2 years. But yeah, batting average way down. Though on base, I mean it's down, but it's about on par-ish. So I guess he's just really just walloping that ball. That's all he's going for. And you know what? I mean, look at where they are in the standings. He's having a good season and keep it up. I don't know.
More 3 true outcomes. More.
That's it. That's baseball, baby. And so where are we now? Oh, the Buffaloes. I'm surprised.
I got a pleasant surprise and I got a nasty surprise. Pleasant surprise, the phenom finally clicked. Ryo Ota challenging for the batting title off the top. He's still in 4th in the batting race, 9th in RBI. Love to see it. The nasty surprise, the rest of the pitching has not been that good. Miyagi and Alan Curry are the only ones on the top 10 in ERA. Ryohei Sootani's pitched well. Andres Machado has a lockdown on the closer job. But for a team that supposedly had the pitching lab, it's been a rough go for the Buffs. And I'm not entirely sure how to fix that.
Miyagi's having a down year for sure. I mean, record-wise, he's just been – the results have not matched his ability for sure. Miyagi comes in probably one of the best pitchers in the Pacific, and now his win-loss record is absolutely pedestrian for what we expect. Plus, they've been missing Shunpei Yamashita all year, and I don't know if that necessarily is the fix everything, but that's a lights-out talent when he is on, operative when he's on, and he hasn't been because he hasn't been available.
Very true. Good point.
I'm not really that surprised by the Buffs, I guess, because on the one hand, I wasn't that surprised that they played so well because I thought they were that good, and then now they've kind of fallen off again, which also isn't ironically surprising because that happened last year. So I'm going to go 2 bold predictions. Ryo Ota is actually going to storm ahead and win the batting title for the league, but they're going to miss the playoffs. Ooh,
no, actually, that's another bold prediction I had. For the Eagles, they're going to sneak ahead and sneak in.
Yeah, let's get a transition right over to the Eagles. I think the Eagles are going to sneak into the playoffs, and big surprise for them, for me, is just that they've been holding on. I guess, though I don't know. I feel like I thought they would. I don't know. Yeah, whatever.
My surprise is how bad Hayakawa's been. Takahisa Hayakawa comes in, the ostensible ace of the staff, and this staff, because he's not qualified as a pitcher right now and probably won't be, he's just had that bad of a year. Meanwhile, the old gag that I was thinking going into the season, if you put the Eagles lineup with the Lions pitching, you have the best team in the Pacific. And the Eagles lineup is kind of ish living up to it. Kind of. I don't know if I believe they're bound for the playoffs, but I just don't know who 3rd place is. I think Oryx kind of backs into it, honestly, because I don't see Rakuten, short of them getting nuclear white hot, everything starts cooking. I don't see that happening. But
Luke Voigt, power mode engage.
Oscar
There
Gonzalez
is that.
playing up to his potential. I mean, they have the pieces. Like, it's not the craziest thing.
Old Man Asamura revenge tour.
Also, Rory Muniyama picks up a little bit offensively. Also, I was going to say, we knew he was, obviously
He's
really
still
talented.
probably favorite for rookie of the year, though. Really
yeah, absolutely.
Otherwise, I was going to say the only real contender is Seiya Watanabe because Misho Nishikawa hasn't quite hit up to the expectations. But let me throw a dark horse in there and getting a little ahead of myself. Ryusei Terachi for the Marines was an all-star in his rookie year, isn't even 20 years old.
Well, maybe. But I was going to say real quick, Muniyama, we knew how good he was defensively, but wow. The way it's transitioned into the pro game is spectacular. It's really cool to see that.
And then Itsuki Murabayashi taking over at third and leading the batting race.
Yeah, the more we talk about it, the more I'm actually I was kind of just being edgy, thinking that the Buffs would be out and the Eagles would be in, but they really could do it, honestly. It's entirely possible.
Sorry.
No, the Lions are out. That's my bold prediction. The Lions are cooked, man.
But I mean, it depends. This is a blip for Imai. Sorry, we're talking about the Eagles, but this is a blip for Imai. Sumida is still there. He's still great. The offense has been surprisingly good. And I have more faith in their pitchers reclaiming form than I have faith in the Eagles offense continuing to do this.
I don't know. I feel the opposite. Also, my big surprise with the Lions has been it's very unfortunate to see Takeuchi fall off so hard. Though also huge. I mean, Tyler Nevin. Whoo!
Tyler Nevin got his money, and he's going to be sticking around to continue to do his Randy Bass impersonation. Sorry, maybe not Randy Bass. Ernesto Mejia. There we go.
Yeah, that's been cool. I mean, that's been nice. Yeah, I mean the Lions. I had faith in the Lions up to a point, and you are right. It is August. There's still a lot of time. They could get back into it, but
to the point, it could be the Eagles, it could be the Buffaloes, it could be the Lions. You'll notice I'm leaving the Marines out of that conversation, unfortunately.
Okay, bold prediction: Kaima Taira picks up Sawamura or picks up MVP votes despite being a closer.
Ooh, that's maybe. I mean, votes. Yeah, he's not going to win it, but yeah. You know what? I forgot about how if there's anything that there's been really to celebrate.
Kaino Wingenter Taira is maybe the best back end of the bullpen in the PL.
It's for what it's worth.
It's crazy the way the Lions last year. The starting pitching was so good, and then everything else was so bad. And this year, they figured out the bullpen. The offense is competent sometimes, and now the starting pitching is I don't know, maybe we're not so good. It's come on, man.
Do you guys remember my bold prediction, the combo prediction, the crazy one that I had?
Didn't you think the Lions were going to make the playoffs?
No, I thought the Lions earlier was going to win the ERA title, even though they would be in the cellar.
Oh, well, there you go.
Imai still has a shot. He's got 4 guys in front of him.
But they're in 5th, which actually this year rates as kind of a disappointment for where they were. Also, the Marines, they're not going to finish in the cellar because Chiba exists. Just saying.
Just keeping an eye on the time. We got 1 minute left. Can we just wrap this up before we piss off all the Marines fans?
So thank you for listening to us ramble. Comment, subscribe, do all that YouTube stuff. We really went off there. Hope you enjoyed that part of the show. And let us know your bold predictions, your surprises, all that good stuff. And we'll see you next time on the podcast. Take care.
This is why we never go unscripted. Good Lord.
Sorry.